Hello! Welcome to Interview with Jane, you guys interviewing me. So I am sat in my lovely house looking up to the blue sky, although it's rather breezy today out there and a bit chilly. And this is my little business inspiration corner. And feng shui wise, it's in the right spot for business. So I recommend that it doesn't matter where in your house, but do you have a business inspiration corner? This here is from a workshop that I did in January, I think it's last year. And it's got all the little post-it notes from all the people that attended, and at the end of the workshop they wrote all these wonderful things down, which I then framed because I think they're so lovely. So it's stuff like they said they felt confident, excited, calm, inspired, determined, great, happy, changed on the inside, energized, clarity and me time, and awesome. They felt awesome, and that is good because that's how I like to feel myself, and that's how I like people around me to feel happy and awesome. So I've got some wicked questions here. Bit of a tumbleweed at first, but luckily they started to roll in. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself first, and then I'm going to get cracking on these questions. Now, I was surprised that most of them are business questions, and I would never class myself as a business coach. I would class myself more as a lifestyle coach. Working with, you know, your dreams and aspirations, whatever that may be. Hi, Carol! But I will most definitely answer all the businessy ones, and I'm glad to say there were some personal ones in there as well. Hey, Josh! So, I am 39. I nearly wrote I was 32 because I do feel like my age is like just stopped at 32. That was the year I had my I fell pregnant and I had my little baby. Hi, Sally. And I do feel like mentally my age has stopped at 32, and whenever anybody asks me I still say, oh, I'm 32, and I'm like, oh no, wait a second, I'm going to be 40 in August. So, my healing journey probably started about 20 years ago. Sally's 22, wicked. Yes. So, yeah, about 20 years ago, I was in a... just saying, was the biggest challenge. This is probably Carol's question. So what is the biggest challenge you have overcome, and what tools best helped you? So about 20 years ago, I was in a relationship with someone highly controlling and physically and mentally abusive. And the biggest, I think that, to be honest, I've had lots of challenges, and that is the one that has taken the longest to clear and get over and get through. I'll go through this one and then I'll name a couple of other ones which you might think, oh my god, I thought that would have been worse, but you know, wasn't for me. So yes, I was 20. I started dating this guy who I'd known, within friends, we'd all known each other for a while. And he was an older guy, I think 12 years older than me. And I was so excited. I fancied him so much. It was this older guy and da-da-da. And it turned out to be the worst relationship I've ever had. My whole self-confidence and self-worth got shattered, and my heart in the process as well, and I really feel my mind started to break under the pressure and the real confusion of what he is saying about me real now, because you've heard it repeated when you kind of go out with one of these, when you're around a person that is psychotic. I can't think of the right word, but when you're around somebody who constantly lies, who blames everything on everybody else and doesn't take responsibility for themselves, etc., etc., you do start to think, is what they're saying true? Did I do that? Did I look at that person? Did I? And you really start to question yourself. And I think that was probably my biggest challenge in life. But I did walk away. And in the process, I did run him over, which I find hilarious. Now, I didn't at the time. I was absolutely shitting it. But we had another big fight, and it was definitely one that I was going to not ever repeat again. He was going to burn all of my clothes in the basement flat that he lived in. He piled them all up, he poured the lighter fluid all over my clothes and was going to burn it. I'd locked the door, I couldn't get out of the house. And I was distraught, and I could barely breathe, and I couldn't speak. I was sobbing so hard. And I thought to myself, now, if I ever get out of this, I'm never going back. If I get out of this flat, I am never coming in this flat again. He held a razor blade to my throat. Yeah, it was horrendous. Pushed me, threw me across the room. Real physical abuse and violence. And I thought to myself, fuck this. I could die, and for what? For this relationship? Oh my God, no way am I gonna die in this flat. I need to get out. You know, I've got so much to give to the world, that was probably my lowest point. And eventually I did get out of the flat, and he chased me down the road, and I got in my car, and I had to get out of the bloody car space. And by the time I kind of done that, he was throwing boxes at my car. I was a computer engineer at the time, and I had some computer gear in his house, so he was throwing them down the road in the middle of the night at my car. And I pulled out, and I knocked him over then when I pulled out, because I thought, if I stop, he will break through the windows and get to me, and like, no. So I drove, and I stayed in my car for a bit, and then I went home to my mum and dad's, and like, I didn't say anything to them. Now the tools that that was my biggest challenge, my probably worst moment. And it also was the start of my journey of taking back my life. So taking back, owning my life, owning my decisions, because it was my decision to go out with him, it was my decision to stay, it was my decision to wait till it got that fucking bad before I was like, nah, I'm out of here and I'm never coming back, never talk to me again. So it was my journey of, the start of my journey of taking responsibility for my actions and starting to follow my loves, like travel and stuff like that. And although I did use travel as quite an escapism, that is when it started. A year later I went travelling. The tools that helped me through that situation were homeopathy and emotional freedom technique. So I saw, I've pretty much only used homeopathic remedies for the last 20 years now. I think in that 20 years I remember taking antibiotics twice. So yeah, I am pretty goddamn healthy. The homeopathy helped with my body and my emotions and my mind, because after that situation, and pretty much just after, I was using, although I was using recreational drugs beforehand, I wasn't really escaping from anything. But after that situation, I was using drugs and drink and travel to escape. So the homeopathy really helped me to talk through, for a start, because when you have a homeopathic appointment you get like an hour with somebody to talk about your problems and then you get your remedies. So it is like counselling as well, and coaching as well. It's all kind of bound up in one. So yeah, I did that, and then I started learning EFT, which is the tapping, which again helps you to let go of emotional baggage. So Carol, that was a bloody long answer, but that was my biggest challenge, I think, in life that I've overcome. It was the start of my healing journey as well, and the tools that helped me were homeopathy and EFT, emotional freedom technique. We'll go to Monica next. What kind of marketing works best for you? So, I think talking to people. That's why I love doing videos, because people get to see who I am and the way I talk and my mannerisms. And when you're doing either kind of coaching or, well, when you're doing anything, if it's a face-to-face, whether online or physical, you need to get on with that person. So if their words irritate you, and you sign up to something of theirs, you know, it's not going to work. If their words inspire you and uplift you and give you a bit of a confidence and a bit of a boost, then that is the person for you. So for me, videos, and again, I don't know whether it comes back to being diagnosed with dyslexia. I don't use that label anymore, but when I was a child, that was said, that I had dyslexia. My mind worked a little bit different in remembering stuff. I kind of don't buy into that anymore, but it could be also a reason why I like videos. I tend to be more drawn to other people's videos, and I will watch their videos on Facebook and YouTube. Will I read their long ass posts? No. I get about 3-4 lines in and I'm like, I'm done. So long ass post marketing doesn't work for me as a client. Videos work for me as a client, because I can gauge what the person is and do I want to hang out with them for a session, and that's what I do. So I do what I like. So videos work for me and I enjoy doing videos, and I feel I get myself across really well in my marketing for videos rather than I do with kind of typing and words. So that's what works for me. Oh, and the other thing is, because when you're doing a video, for me, I'm truly working from the heart. I don't ever script my videos. They are all totally off the top of my head. Even the marketing ones, even the professional ones I've done, I never write a script. It is me being natural, and I'll know what I want to talk about. Sometimes I'll forget the flipping offer at the end because I've been so in the zone, and then I'll just type it at the bottom. But yeah, it's from the heart. When I do videos, it's from the heart. When other people do writing their stories, again, that will be flowing from their heart. For me, the typing and the writing doesn't flow as well as video does for me. Okay. Do I have a mindset mentor? Yes, I have a couple. I've followed and worked with various people over the years, and at the moment I am doing a course, orgasmic manifesting course, which is what it says on the tin. I was hoping for a few sex questions, guys, but you didn't give me any. Yeah, it's all about being aligned in our orgasmic state throughout the day, not just for those moments of pleasure. Making those moments of pleasure last longer and have that energy in your body for the whole day, for the whole week, for the whole month, as much as possible. And then you're able to manifest so much more because you're totally in that zone of alignment and happiness and fulfillment. So that is the program I'm on at the moment, and her name is Laurie Ann King. She is in the United States of America, and she is like early 20s, and she's fun and she's relaxed, and yeah, that's the kind of mentors that I'm looking at the moment. Also a Sarah Prout, and again, she's a manifester. She has a manifesting academy, and again, she's pretty chilled. She's got a family, a home life, and kind of like a base, and that's what I'm drawn to right now. Like I say, I've kind of done my... Yes, Sally, we did talk about orgasms and money. And I must do a little course on this, definitely. Right. Willow. What is your biggest success business-wise? And how did you achieve it? What is my biggest success business-wise and how have I achieved it? This is a very tricky one. I would say my biggest success in business is having a fucking business. Because I did 10 years in the IT industry. The first part I really liked because, quite frankly, I was my own boss pretty much, and I was driving around, meeting lots of people, and yeah, just driving around listening to tunes, and I was smoking spliffs at the time too. And then I'd go into different companies, fix their computers and drive off on to the next place, and it was very, very cool. Then when I got kind of stuck in an office, also I gave up smoking weed, so I wasn't driving around smoking. I got in an office, and that's when I started to get bored. But like, well, I can look back on this with hindsight and see that I loved driving around, being out and about, and having that level of freedom that your own business has too. And then when I got stuck into like an office, being there 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, didn't like that. Then I went to the ambulance service because I knew I wanted to help people, but I didn't know how. And I had already done kind of massage courses and holistic courses whilst I was in IT, on an evening courses basically. So the what am I saying? Yes, so from going from like almost 20 years in jobs to having my own business, that is my biggest achievement. I started my business doing little bits in 2010. I then fell pregnant, literally about 5 months after I set up my business. And then I kind of took a little bit of time out with Missy May. I still tried to do bits and bobs, but I wasn't fully focused. And then when I started to she started to get a bit bigger, and I was like having to look at childcare and going back to work and missing various little points of her life because I was in the office and I wasn't with her. It really started to get me down, and I didn't like the job I was in anyway. It was just security, but what it was doing was draining me, making me depressed. I was drinking more because I wasn't happy, and I was putting on weight. And then 2 years ago, February, I met this guy, Paul, and I fell in love, and it just gave me that little bit of extra support that I needed to hand in my resignation. Now, turns out I handed in my resignation to stop work in the June, and we split up in the June too. But it was all a rather dramatic period, but it gave me that hand to hold on to take a step into the unknown. And from that month onwards, June 2016, I have made money every single month in my business. Some months I have made lots of money, and other months I have made not so much money, but I've always been able to cover my bills and my expenses, and I've always managed to, since that point, take my daughter to and from school. That was one of my main things. Only ask for childcare if I had extra businessy stuff that I desired to do, like going away on courses and stuff, and for social time. So that has really, for the last nearly 2 years, that is my biggest achievement. So, Sally Munro, where do you start? Business registering, business courses. You start with your love. You start with your idea. You start by being calm. And I know you have got your epic ideas and you are doing, you're already doing your businesses. You want to upscale it. So start thinking about, you have your business. How can you incorporate it into your life? So when I was still working part-time, I still incorporated my business into my life so I could start making money. And I did massages at the weekend, and I started to do coaching as well, and I did that in the evenings. So how can you incorporate your business or upscale your business right now? Registering your business, I mean, you could just register as a sole trader. It takes like 5 minutes. I would not get caught up about anything like that. Business courses, yes, you can. Again, it's what are you prepared to invest in? There's loads of good free stuff out there, and there are loads of good courses out there. A lot of the people I know are going more down the route of heartfelt marketing, i.e. just start talking about your business, how you can help people, what your services are, and don't worry about the structure of how something is supposed to look, because we are not Mars, we are not Tesco's, we are not Coca-Cola. I am Jane Scanlan, and I help people to cherish, transform and upgrade their lives. And I do it because I've done that, gone from feeling shitty to cherishing myself step by step. Didn't happen overnight. Transforming my life step by step, again, didn't happen overnight. And upgrading then. So everything I'd achieved, how can I make that better? How can I upgrade that? And that's what I'm still doing. And for you, Sally, you are an epic artist. How can you share that skill with more people? Think about, really like brainstorm down what you want to do. How could you sell your skill? Is it the murals? Is it postcards? Is it teaching other people or children to do this? I.e. you set up an art school, and that art school could even be online, because I know people are teaching watercolours and things like that via Skype to groups of people, or via Zoom to groups of people. So think wildly outside the box, and don't get bogged down with the registering your business, logo, what's the other thing I was thinking of? Anyway, forget about that crap. Just think, how can I get my love out to as many people as possible in a way that I really enjoy and I love? I hope that helps. Let me know. Why, this is from Roy, why do you do what you do. So, I do what I do. Kind of answered this throughout. I do what I do because about 20 years ago, I realised that life could end quickly and pointlessly. And in that moment, I realised that I had so much potential to give to the world and so much love to give to the world, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what was going to happen, how I was going to do this. But it sparked a survival instinct in me. Good, well, good, Sally, well done. Yeah, it sparked this survival instinct in me to help other people. And even as a child, I was always like giving shoulder massages and making sure everybody was okay and happy. And I'd also like worry that people weren't happy in my family, and I wanted them to be happy. And when I'd blow out my candles for my birthday, I wasn't wishing for unicorns and Barbie dolls. I was just wishing for my family to be happy. That was it. Happy and healthy. That's all I ever wished for as a child. So as a grown up, that is still in me. I want everyone to be happy and healthy, and it makes me sad when I see people and they're not living to their full potential, not even half of their potential. And most of the time it is because, it's not because they don't want to, it's because they don't have the self-confidence or the self-worth or the self-belief to do so. And that is what I love helping people to do, to get that self-belief, to raise it high, 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 to get your self-love and start loving your body and your mind and your life. That is what I love to do, and I do it because that's where I've come from too. Yes, and that is the end of the questions. So I'm just going to go through and just refresh, and then I might take you on a tour of my house. So, also 2 years ago, I started to look at different areas to live in. As a child, I have always wanted to live in the countryside, live out of London, because it's a bit too much for me, a bit too busy and a bit too hemmed in. I like to see big sky. So 2 years ago, Paul, I was dating, he spent half the time down in Bournemouth, so I started coming down here. And after we split up, I continued taking Scarlett down there because it's so beautiful with the, like I say, the big blue sky, the New Forest right behind us, and the sea and the wonderful sand. So I started to plan this. Now, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I certainly didn't know how on earth I was going to get a place after I left the ambulance service, because everyone told me mortgages are really hard to get, etc, etc. So I was worried, but I knew that I had a dream and I help other people get their dreams, and this is kind of why I help other people get their dreams, because I love to have a dream and make it come true, whether it be really small or really big. So these are some of the things. I haven't got my vision boards up yet here, but I'll kind of take you around the house and give you a little tour. So I'm flipping it over. So this is from one of my workshops, which helps me stay focused. And these are little things: getting to know you, mindfulness, quotes, angels. And this is where I'm working at the moment. I'm a bit messy. There's my... This was a piece of furniture that I got for a tenner. I absolutely love it, and I shabby chiced it a little bit. And all of these books here are now all beautifully placed there. They're my homeopathy and psychology, anatomy, crystals, everything kind of books to help you guys when I am coaching or massaging. A little empty shelves right now, but they're slowly getting filled. They're all my good cookbooks. So eating raw, clean eating, sugar-free eating, healthy proteins, etc. One of my little like meditation zones, and we have got Ganesh, Buddha, and oh gosh, what is your name, lovely lady? I've forgotten. Nope, gone for now. Oh god, I've got mess. See, I'm normal. I am normal. Oh, and I love this. Look at that. I love my birds up there tweeting away for me. And this is my hallway. I'm going to take you upstairs. And we're going into the bathroom. And bathroom isn't completed yet, but we're getting there. So I've got lush tiles. How cool is this? Oh, love it. I will have a lush shower which has raindrops and also a waterfall. So awesome. My lush radiators throughout. Didn't quite measure things. Can't fit this in anywhere. Slightly annoying, but I'll have to figure something else out. This is one of my little zones for Scarlett. Thanks, Sally. And look, look, here's some inspiration, Sally. I don't know who the artist is, I can't remember, but anyway, Kate got these, and she makes cards. These are the ones that are up in Crystal Palace, positive of it. She makes cards because she felt that there were no representation of her children, her mixed race girls. So she started creating artwork, and now she sells these cards up in Crystal Palace. Epic business. I won't show you my daughter's bedroom, but I'll show you mine. I picked this up. This is Bournemouth. I pretend that that's me naked on a beach. Love it. And I want to put something else there. That's just temporary, that one. But as you can see, I'm going to have the same over this side because I'm inviting my partner into my life. I am actually dating somebody at the moment, but we will not go into that. Oh, well, we can if we want, but none of you asked any questions about that, did ya? So I've got my chest of drawers there, and a lovely mirror, and I'm going to have exactly the same on that side. I just haven't brought it down from London yet. And this is also like a little temple or whatever, I can't think of the word. This is like a little love zone for me. And I open it up, J. Scarlett got that for me. And she also got me the M, which is Mummy. So I love that. I put that there. And yeah, I've got various things like a golden feather, a wand, some flowers, a wicked stone. Can I get in there? Yeah. A wicked stone with love written on it. A heart. So I put little special things in here. And this is my special zone. Yeah. And there's my little family. Can you see that? No, not really. Yes, you can. Yay! That was it. And here I am. Hey! Hello! So, dreams do come true. And I didn't know how on earth I would possibly ever get a house. I even started looking at caravans at one point. But I can do another video on manifesting and how I kind of created this, and this actual house and this actual garden was in a meditation that I did when I was pregnant with Scarlett. And yeah, amazing. And when I saw this place and when I walked into the garden, I was like, oh my God. Carol, thank you. Thank you. I can't wait for you guys to come and visit me. Most definitely. So I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that you know a little bit more about me and a little bit more about who I like to work with and why I like to work with them. It is all about cherishing yourself, transforming your life step by step, and then getting to upgrade it and have a little bit of fun with pushing the boundaries. Okay, love you guys. Thank you so much.